Hey guys, I'm back with another candle review, and this time around it's for the 14.5 ounce 3-wick sugared pine needles candle from Bath & Body Works, part of the upcoming holiday collection. The notes on this read sweet pine sap, frosted eucalyptus, and warm spice. And yeah, so on cold, I thought this was just kind of strange. There was a overly musky quality to it that made it quite unfresh. And just, I guess, reading pine needles in sugar, I was hoping for more of like like a vanilla, sweet, bright pine sap plus vanilla fragrance in the realm of something like vanilla balsam. And so I feel like traditionally when we've gotten like sort of like sweet pine or sugared pine balsam fragrances, they're kind of in the vein of vanilla balsam, which was just beautiful because you got the fresh crispness of fresh balsam with like a cool vanilla. Also fragrances like Snow Day, Winter Mint and Spruce, The Perfect Winter, which was also Frosted Forest. That is another one where it's kind of like a sweeter pine fragrance, but it also had quite a bit of a mint presence to all of those, that it was also once again more fresh, clean, and uplifting. And so the fact that this was kind of like a sugared pine needles, I was kind of set up to expect something like that. But then when I smell it, it's quite more musky and also warm from the spice notes, that it just felt unfresh and just kind of weird, that I was just like, ooh, I don't know if I really like this. And it was just not what I was expecting. I guess the one more warmer and creamy sort of like vanilla tree fragrance that we have gotten from Bath & Body Works has been Under the Christmas Tree. And so perhaps this was kind of trying to ride the success of Under the Christmas Tree. But I feel like Under the Christmas Tree is just so much stronger when it's burning than this is. And that sort of vanilla creaminess is just a lot more like sort of gourmand and sweet and just awesome compared to whatever Sugar Pine Needles is serving. So I feel like if you're trying to pick between the two, like personally, in my opinion, I would prefer the Under the Christmas Tree versus Sugared Pine Needles, especially because the strength on the two are just so different. So in any case, now that's out of the way, what does Sugared Pine Needles smell like? I would say it's more of a warmer kind of rustic pine fragrance that's similar to the sort of evergreen fragrance that we've gotten, which was also repackaged as Evergreen and Fir last year. It's kind of that type of like old-fashioned pine fragrance that has a little bit of like spice in it. I would also say I think there was that blue spruce and spice fragrance that we had that one year for Candle Day. It was in like a blue wax that also had kind of a very similar fragrance to this actually. So if you enjoyed the blue spruce and spice fragrance, you might actually enjoy this too. It has a similar type of, I guess, pine plus spice blend to it. And so that's kind of the sort of pine or evergreen fragrance I get, is that it's a little less fresh and crisp as like fresh balsam. It's not quite as like bright in an apple like sappy way as something like Tree Farm or Lavender and Pine is. It's a little bit more warmer and then subdued by that kind of like warm spice note. And then what you get in conjunction with that sort of pine fragrance that I was referring to is heaps of this kind of like warm, like crystallized amber type of feel to it, like a musk amber. I think it's almost like a sugared amber, sugared and musk note is what I'm getting from this. And I would most equate it to like the cypress and amber candle. It's kind of like if you merge like a pine fragrance with cypress and amber, this is kind of what you get with Sugared Pine Needles. It's similar to kind of like the amber that you get in Marshmallow Fireside. It's like this warm, almost like ooey gooey, like toasted, crystallized amber note is kind of what I get from like Marshmallow Fireside or Cypress and Amber, or even like the kind of marshmallowy base that you get of the Iced Vanilla Woods fragrance. It's that type of like sugared musk, sugared amber note that just gives it a more, I guess, warm and cozy rather than fresh and crisp way. And so it's kind of like that. And so you're getting like a sort of old-fashioned pine spice blend similar to the blue spruce and spice or evergreen, and then mix that with kind of the sugared amber musk elements of cypress and amber. And that's kind of what you get with Sugared Pine Needles. And yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of neither here nor there. It smells very like nostalgic holiday, and maybe perhaps just Sugared Pine Needles, just, I don't know, I was thinking of just something else as an expectation. It didn't quite turn out that way. But then also, spoiler alert, the throw on this is just so incredibly weak that it's like, okay, hello, if I want something like similar to this, like I'll just go to Under the Christmas Tree, or I'll just like get Cypress and Amber from my backstock or whatever, you know? And so it's just, this just doesn't really seem like it's super necessary. So yeah. Moving on to the performance, this is a third burn. It has the thick rope-like wicks on it. It pulls out in no time, so we're good to go there. As for the throw, I really just don't know what's going on. I'm like, is this the new Yankee Candle, or like, am I just losing my sense of smell because I'm just burning candles all the time? But like, I don't even burn candles throughout the week because I'm at work most of the time, right? And so I'm just like, I don't understand why I'm not smelling these candles. And so yeah, this is once again kind of like in the 2 to 3 range. I can barely smell it. I can't smell it in the open concept living room area except for when I first enter the room, but then I go nose blind to it. In my bedroom, I would say maybe like about a 2. It's just very much in the light range. I can barely smell it or detect it. Like all the other fragrances that I'm like comparing to are just so much stronger that I'm just really not seeing a purpose for this. So the throw on this just leaves a whole lot to be desired. So I don't know. Once again, I would have to like recommend something more like Under the Christmas Tree if you're wanting a warm, sugared, pine type of fragrance for the holiday that just performs traditionally so much better than what this is giving right now. Overall, yeah, I don't know. Like, have I just been reviewing candles too long? I'm just like starting to question like what is going on here. Like, all these fragrances are just very redundant and safe, right? And they just smell like different iterations or takes on something that we've had before. But in this case, in many cases, actually recently, they're just much lighter, more unscented versions of better, superior fragrances that we've had before. And I guess for the casual consumer who is not reviewing candles for 12, 13 years or whatever it is, and doesn't have a huge backstock of candles to refer to, perhaps this is fine because it's just like it just shows up in the store. Like you just walk in as a casual consumer, you pick it up, you smell it. Okay, it smells fine enough. And maybe your nose isn't as desensitized as a casual consumer that like, okay, maybe it has enough throw for you and it's fine. And maybe if pine fragrances are too overwhelming for you traditionally, this is a lighter version. So like I can still see the appeal of a fragrance like this before the crowd here on YouTube, where we've been like into these candles at a very like hardcore hobby enthusiast level for, as long as we have been. I just don't see the point in this. And it's just like so much lighter than the other ones that I'm just getting really frustrated. And I'm just like, I don't understand why every single candle that I'm getting from Bath and Body Works lately, it has been very light. So I'm very frustrated. I'm just like, oh my God, like, do I need to take a break from just reviewing Bath and Body Works candles? Or I don't know what it is, but it's just like, girl, I just can't stay away from all the new fragrances that it's like, it's still the gambling thing, right? Like 1 out of 10 fragrances you're going to get might still throw strongly for you, that you're like, okay, well, maybe the next time around I'll get a good hit from it. So yeah, it's just, you guys know the quandary, but that's pretty much it. That's just what I'm experiencing personally, and I'm just reporting on my experience personally. If you get something else, I totally understand. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.